Hello, I'm Mitchell Chernock with American Pacific Advanced Mortgage Group in downtown Benicia, and this is part 3 of the loan application process. What do we have? We have page 3. Now, I'm going to show it to you in a minute, but I want to make sure that you realize that our job here is to really help you to understand the loan application. I'm going to be doing other videos to explain the details that go in here and how we discover what your income is, what your assets are, the length of time on your job, whether or not you've graduated from a training program and you have a certificate and now you're working, how long do you have to do that? All of these different aspects of the loan application that open doors. And every time we put something on here, we close a door, but it also opens one to question and or to assist you to make sure you get your application. So the back page, page 3 of the application, there are more pages, but it's infill. It's just other things that flow over into page 4 and page 5 that didn't make it on the rest of the application. So we have your real estate. If you own real estate, then it's going to go on page 3, whether it's investment property, commercial property, property held in partnerships. That's where your residential income comes in. But also if you're selling a personal residence, it still goes on here, but it shows as a pending sale. I'm going to show this to you because there's another part on here. It's called declarations. There's a bunch of little tiny boxes, and I'm going to go through some of it, but not all of it, and the details of purchase. And then there's also an acknowledgement and an agreement that all the information you provided is true and correct, and that you've been honest about the information that you gave us. It also has a little bit of detail about don't commit loan fraud, and right below that will then be a place for you to put your signature and for me to also sign as well. My license number goes there, my company license number goes there, our office address, and that information that will help you to know exactly who we are. So here are some of the declarations, just to give you an idea. Are there any outstanding judgments against you? Have you ever declared bankruptcy in the last 7 years? And that's another video that we'll do to explain to you how to get credit right after your bankruptcy or during the end of a Chapter 13. Have you had property foreclosed on? Right now, we know that in almost all cases on a conventional loan, it is 7 years unless you've had an extreme family hardship that we can prove that you won't be able to buy a home using conventional financing. It's a shorter period of time for FHA and VA and for Native American loans. We'll get into that as well. Are you a party to a lawsuit? It means even if you're suing somebody or they're suing you. And by the way, it doesn't involve class action lawsuits with your bank where they're trying to return $4 to you for bounce check fees that they charged you, which is really horrible how much they charge these days. Have you been directly or indirectly had a loan which was defaulted in a foreclosure or in lieu that involved government financing? Do you owe school loans that are in default that are government debt? That could prevent you sometimes from getting a government loan, specifically a VA loan, if you've defaulted. Are you presently delinquent on any of that? Next one, are you obligated? Are you obligated to pay child support, spousal support, or alimony? Now let's go over those really quick, because one is on spousal support. If your ex-spouse gets married, we know that that goes away. Alimony can be more temporary. Child support doesn't go away unless it's court ordered. So if you have a 12-year-old child and they're living with you and they used to live with the other spouse and you still have child support, you may be able to get away with that, but it's really important for you to go get the proper order and make sure that you no longer are obligated to pay. Is any part of the down payment borrowed? We don't like borrowed down payments unless it's coming from a piece of real estate or chattel ownership, which means you're borrowing from title loans, which would be from your car. Credit unions are the best places to go for that. Don't go to a title loan company. They will take you for a ride, literally. And are you a co-maker or endorser on a note? You've already watched other videos I put out there. Please don't co-sign with anybody for any reason unless you absolutely have to, especially those $100,000 school loans. Let's leave those off. Now, on this other side here, this is the details of the transaction. Whether it's a purchase or a refinance, your down payment will show there, your mortgage you're paying off will show there if it's a refi, and our estimated closing costs. And then we also have to ask you some very specific questions. We do have HMDA. We have to make sure race, creed, color, religion, national origin, and all of those wonderful things to show that we are an equal housing lender doing the right thing for you and your family. And then, of course, your signature and my signature. That's the end. I look forward to having you go through this process with us. Again, I've told you before, We'd like to take the 10 or 15 minutes to do it for you so you don't have to do it by yourself. I'm Mitchell Chernock with American Pacific Advanced Mortgage Group. Go get yourself a piece of the American dream.